Hey, good morning, friends. Brandon Pike here, founder of Primo. We are an executive search firm for finance and technology executives with a niche focus in Charlotte. And guys, the reason I'm recording this today is I have heard of pretty large numbers of folks getting laid off over the last week or so, and really just wanted to put out some content that I thought might be helpful. So if this is helpful, feel free to share it. Also, if you need help directly from me, please book time on my calendar. Happy to be available to help whoever I can. And I'm going to go through a few bullets. No, I did not use AI for this, so this is just right off the top of my head. Wanted to help you guys out. First thing, if you have been laid off, don't freak out. I know that you're probably hearing that from a lot of people, and it's easier said than done. But I think about the old dizzy bat game, right? What's the first thing you need to do is kind of get your feet settled, get on firm ground. And I would just encourage you, take the time, get quiet, get a notepad in your hand, write out how you're feeling, whatever you need to do to kind of quiet your mind, quiet your spirit, if you will. And that kind of helps. Look, we don't see things clearly when we're emotional, right? So it may take you a couple days, may take you a week, but just give yourself some time to kind of calm down, sort through things. What's done is done. Now it's time to think about what's next. Secondly is remember your vision. Now, I know some of you might be like I was. When I was in my 20s, people would say, you need to have a vision. And I would say, I have no idea what my vision is. So you might be in those shoes where vision is something that's not natural for you. For you, I would encourage you, write down your values. Because even when I didn't have much of a clear vision, I had very clear values. So I'd encourage you to write those things out, and they will help you think about what do you want to do next. Because if you don't have a long-term vision, it's hard to see the next step. But if you have clear values, I think that'll help you build out, hey, what do you really want in your next role? Step 3, lock in your story. Now, what I mean by your story is not necessarily what you've done in your past, although that's very important. But what I mean by that is, what's the story of what you want to do? People, I use this example, people often, it's almost like they ask their friends, hey, I'd like to see a movie. And their friends go, well, what kind of movie would you like to see? And they're like, oh, any movie is fine. I see this a lot with folks that get laid off. They, and this happens to everybody, or even people that are in a job that they're frustrated with. I go, what do you want to do? And they go, man, I'm up for anything. I'm totally open. Okay, that's great, but what would you do if somebody asked you about a movie and you said, hey, what do you want to see? I don't know, I'm up for anything, right? It's just hard to give people advice when they're in those shoes. So I would encourage you to really lock in on something. You may not know exactly what you want to do. You may be open to anything. But if you share with people a very specific story for where you want to go, hey, here's what I'd like to do. And also think about who you can add value to. I think that really helps. Let's say you're a finance executive and you're thinking about what's next. Well, you're probably already pretty clear on the value that you've added to your current organization. You want to work on articulating, hey, who do you think you can help in your next role? And then if you're more junior in your career, maybe you're even thinking about transitioning into something different. Okay, that's fine, but think about what's the value that you can add, because whoever hires you next, they're taking a risk, right? They're taking a risk that you're going to work out, that their investment is a good investment. What's the ROI that you're going to bring to them? So be thinking about that. And when you get really clear on what you need to do next, people go, okay, I know who I need to introduce this person to. And that's really kind of leads me to the next step, is reach out to your network. Now, I know that's obvious and everybody hears that, but I want to encourage you to think of this differently. Think about how busy you were in your last role, right? You had deadlines to meet. You've got, if you were at a publicly traded company, you've probably got some sort of quarterly deadlines, monthly deadlines. You've got, your family life, everything going on in your world, and you want to help somebody else, but man, you're busy. You got things on your mind, right? So I want to encourage you, if this is new to you, to stay in front of your network, stay relevant, It's not the easiest thing in the world. So obviously we've got AI tools. They can give you a lot of guidance there, but I like personally, if you can, there's an old adage in billiards that is never jump when you can bank and never bank when you can cut. I think I said that right. But it's all about taking what's the highest percentage shot, right? What's the highest quality shot you can take? Well, with networking, the highest quality shot you can take is meeting with somebody in person. So go and meet with your friends for coffee. Yes, it's a little bit of investment of time, it's a little bit of investment of money, but go there, sit with them, ask them what's going on in their world, right? Focus on them first, but then share your story. Hey, I'm no longer at X company. Here's what I'm looking to do now. Okay. And that's going to help drive things a lot better than an email or a LinkedIn message. So just want to encourage you, if at all possible, meet with people. If you can meet with 2 more people a week, if you can. Like, I know some of you have better networks than others, but that's a big one. Okay. Next one. I don't know, where am I now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Protect your mind. This is probably the hardest thing to do, especially for those of you who've been out in the hunt for a few months. It starts to go, hey, am I still valuable in the marketplace? And I shared this with a friend the other day that if I step on $100 bill and it's in the dirt, it doesn't change the value of that $100 bill, right? Your value is infinite. And that value isn't diminished just because you're not getting traction with employers. Honestly, most of the time you're not getting traction because all these new tools are like weeding out your resume. And again, that comes back to networking. So protect your mind. Reevaluate your assets and what you bring to the table regularly. I would encourage you, if you're in a job search situation, at least once a week, take the time to think about, hey, what makes me valuable? What's important? Like, where can I add value and bring ROI to my next employer? Remind yourself of those things. Also, listen to positive stuff, read positive stuff. It's very easy to get locked in on different news media sources that can kind of make us feel like the world is ending or the economy's in shambles. I don't know about you guys, but my LinkedIn in 2026, I've seen more new job updates probably than the last 2 years combined. And so I do think it's going to be a good year for employment. And whether it is or it isn't, keeping that mindset is really going to help you have the right approach. So want to encourage you, protect your mind. All right, I got 2 more for you guys. I know this is a little long-winded, so hang with me. All right, next, help others. Now this is twofold. For one, getting your eyes off of yourself and your situation, I found it helps me, right? If I'm in a struggle or I'm in a personal thing that's bothering me, if I go and help somebody else, I'm going to feel better. The second piece of this is find ways to work for free. You've got friends that are building businesses. You've got friends that work at a company where they might need some help. Maybe it's not even like an actual consulting project, but you're helping them behind the scenes. Like, doing little things like that, number one, it's going to build your skill set. It's going to help you learn new tools, learn new businesses, learn new companies. I know there was a time in my career where I spent 7 years consulting for the same client. I knew that client's business really well, but guess what? I didn't know anything about what was going on in the city that I was in. So I would just encourage you, find ways to help other people. And whether it's helping them in their job search, or introducing them to your network, or maybe it's doing some free work and it'll help you build new skills. Maybe it's volunteering, right? Whatever it is. All right, last one. And this is kind of the, if needed, reinvent yourself. I was meeting with somebody last week and they were telling me about they've spent 20 years in a career that they feel like AI is making obsolete. And obsolete's a strong word. I don't agree necessarily that their role is going to be obsolete, but it has become a lot less marketable due to what AI can do. And, for that individual, like, they're going to need to reinvent themselves. That's just how it is. And sometimes these things happen, guys. Like, I was a tech guy early in my career. I was an IT consultant. You know what? That wasn't getting me to where I personally wanted to go. Honestly, I wasn't using, I don't think, all the skills that I had and wanted to develop. And so I had to reinvent myself. And I just want to encourage you, some of those, this is not an inspirational talk, but if you think about people that have done, people that are household names today, a lot of times it was a setback that happened in their life. They reinvented themselves and helped get them on a different path. I'll leave it even simpler than that. My dad was a good example of this. He was a blue collar business owner in the logging business for several years. Like, all I knew as a kid was my dad was self-employed and he worked in the logging business. And that business, for whatever reason, it wasn't as viable, and they sold out of that, and he reinvented himself and became a very successful technologist, and he built a whole second career as a technologist. And that was a long time ago. Guys, today, like, the tools are available. Like, it is okay to reinvent yourself and do something new. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Again, if this is helpful, let me know. If it's not helpful, don't tell me. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Have a great day.